It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school football previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live. Good evening, everyone. Vince DeLisio, Anastasia Rastelli, and Rodolfo Gomez here for Friday Night Live postgame. What a night for high school football. Another big one. There were some power outages tonight. Unexpected power outages that affected a couple of our broadcasts and nationwide on the NFHS network. So if you were watching some games, aside from some of our games, even some of our games, those games went out. There was a connectivity issue, a network issue. Our apologies, but unfortunately, it was one of those things that was beyond our control, and we've been on the phones with that and dealing with it. But hopefully, things have gotten straightened out before the end of the evening, and we know that quite a few of the games came back online. So it was just one of those nights. But anyway, we're still here. We've got a lot of updates. I want to turn it over to my co-host this evening, starting with Anastasia Rastelli in Tucson, Arizona. Anastasia, any surprises tonight? Any games that you really had your eye on?
I was surprised tonight about the Arbor View versus Faith game. I was seeing a lot of the updates come in, and yeah, we'll talk more to them and see what happened there. But
okay, what about you, Rodolfo?
You know, going back to the preview, Vince, I think the Basham and Mountain View game was important, was one to look for. And it was a competitive game so far, so we'll see what they have to say.
Awesome. Well, that being said, let's take a look at who's up first here. And let's see. I think we're going to go out to Horizon, and we're going to bring in our old friend Niall Rosenberg. And I was out at Horizon earlier this evening and really had a great time out there. What a game, what a team. So let's start it off with Niall and Rodolfo. Here we go. There he is.
Hey, Niall, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. How was the game so far? How was it?
Oh, it was amazing. There was a really big defensive performance from Horizon. I talked with you pregame about how big the defense was going to be tonight, and they once again held the team to 7 points. That is 3 straight weeks of doing so.
You know, based on what you saw in the performance of Horizon, what stood out the most?
I mean, like I said, it was the defense, but also the performance of quarterback Carter Puma. Horizon put up 27 points, won this game 27-7, but his ability just to get the ball out early, get it on time, allow his team to run the ball and get that established, even with Bodie going down with an injury.
I mean, absolutely, you're right. I think the quarterback performance was huge. What do you see down the road from both teams? What are the expectations down the road from both of these teams?
I mean, head coach Tyson Ditmore that I talked to after the game was like, it's all about now moving on to November, moving to October, November. They can start 4-0, but it's all the next 6 games. They got to win those. And the way their defense is playing and just the way their overall team mentality is, I mean, every play, they're up on their feet, they're jumping, they're yelling, getting their guys involved. And Horizon really looks to be a pretty big powerhouse going forward.
I mean, absolutely. Now we'll see what both of these teams have in the future. So we thank you for your coverage today about the game, and we'll be right back.
Awesome. Nice job there, Niall. Sorry, I cut you off there on the tail end of that. But big win for Horizon, still undefeated at 4-0. Nice job. Congratulations, Coach Tyson Ditmore of the Horizon Huskies. Great one. We're going to search through our queue here and see if we do not have Jasmine yet. Let's see if we can get a hold of Jasmine. And in the meantime, let's move ahead and see who we have that we can bring on board. Let's take a look here. Let's go ahead to I'm going to go to Devin Blankenship, and Devin was covering Mountain View and Basha tonight. Let's bring Devin on board. And Rodolfo, stay with us. We'll be there is Devin. Okay, take it away.
Hey, how's it going, Devin? How's it going? So obviously it was a Bishop pretty much outcompeted Mountain View. Well, what do you saw from Mountain View that they could have done better in terms of offensively or defensively to stop Bishop offensively?
Yeah, defensively, Mountain View just could not stop the pass. Basha came out early, throwing the ball all over Mountain View. First two drives just really handled them through the air pretty easily. Offensively, Mountain View, the blitz was really a struggle for them throughout the entirety of the game.
So Basha pretty much pressured Mountain View to just settle pretty much the whole game, right?
Yeah, in our pregame interview with Coach McDonald, he said one of the big things that they wanted to focus on was getting Goodman off his spot, putting him under pressure, forcing him to throw on the run, and that's exactly what they did all night.
So based on this game and the outlook of this game, so what's the next outcome from Mountain View?
Coach Linton, in our post-game interview, in the second half, they gained a lot of momentum. They actually outscored Basha 13-7 in the second half. And Coach Linton really said, we want to just build on this momentum and prove that we can play with anybody in the state.
Well, we'll see how Mountain View season goes throughout the rest of the season. Well, we thank you, Devin, for your time and your coverage of the game.
Awesome. All right. That was Devin Blankenship, our very own staff member from Phoenix College. And tonight he was covering Basha and Mountain View. And Basha came away with a big win tonight. As we transition, let's take it out to Las Vegas, where Faith Lutheran played Arbor View, and our very own Ansley Pavicek. Let's bring her on. Ansley.
Hey guys, how are you doing tonight?
Great.
Hi, Ansley. So my first question for you is, what stood out about the player of the game's performance tonight?
The player, we actually interviewed him. It was Kamarion Bell of Arbor View. He's actually a safety wide receiver duo. So he's got that Travis Hunter vibe going, and he ran it in for the touchdown for one of the Arbor View's 6 scores of the night on their offensive side, and then he actually had a 100-yard pick six to really, which definitely swing the momentum into Arbor View's way.
So do you believe that was the big turning point of the game?
Yes, definitely. In the first half of the game, it was definitely a back and forth effort. Heading into halftime, it was actually tied 21-21. And then Arbor View took the lead. And then Faith Lutheran got the field goal, made it a 4-point game. But Faith Lutheran was driving, seemed like they had a really easy touchdown, but Bell got that interception and ran it in for the pick six.
Awesome. And what is the biggest takeaway from this matchup moving forward?
Oh, it's definitely Arbor View's offense. As we said in the preview game, they had they averaged over 20 points per game, and you saw that tonight, laying on 49 points on Faith Lutheran's home turf. So it's definitely an offensive front, defensive front. Special teams had a scoop and score as well. So definitely a total team effort tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ansley.
No problem.
Great. Okay. And so a trip out to Vegas, and now we are going to take it over to the Viva Varsity game out at Tempe High School. Let's bring on our very own Joshua Ohep, who provided commentary tonight for Tempe versus La Jolla. Take it away.
Hello.
Hey, Joshua, how's it going?
Going good. How about you?
Doing good, man. And so obviously Tempe went out front and pretty much went after La Jolla throughout the whole game. So what were the turning points throughout the game?
Yeah, the turning points, there was a interception by number 6, who's actually the player of the game, Jaden Hurt Rodriguez. That was a big turning point. And yeah, the defensive stops for Tempe were just extremely powerful. La Jolla could only make one touchdown compared to the amount that Tempe scored.
So pretty much Tempe's defense pretty much outshine Latoya's offense, right?
Yeah, for me, notable on defense, number 13. He was just huge. He was a big player, and he had a lot of force in that defense. He was kind of the main man of it, and yeah, he found the holes in the offense and just attacked and got 4 sacks.
It was a very disputed game, but I mean, Tempe came out up front and they came with the best defensive performance, as you put it. Alrighty. Well, thank you, Joshua, for your coverage and broadcasting of Viva Varsity.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You as well, man. Well, it was a very, very heavy.
Hello, I'm Andrew Neeram, a junior at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I'm excited to show the Varsity Sports Show everything that I can offer on any side of production as I express my love for this business throughout the fall of 2025.
All right, guys, we are back, and quite a night for some high school football. We had games all over the valley, into Tucson, into Las Vegas. Rodolfo, any surprises so far?
Well, I was really surprised, Ben, is the avalanche that Paradise Valley had against Flagstaff. It was just an abomination. It was 63-21.
We'll bring Reggie on here in a bit to talk about that game and give us a breakdown of exactly what happened there. What I want to do, though, is I'd like to go out to, let's see, we had Jasmine. Jasmine was out at Hamilton High School tonight covering Hamilton Brophy. So let's bring Jasmine on to have her talk about it with us.
Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, guys.
How's it
Hi.
going?
It's good. It's good. It was a tough game, to be honest, for Brophy. Score was 70-33. The beginning was still pretty exciting, and Brophy was actually ahead of Hamilton, but quickly after that, that turned so quickly, and it seemed like Brophy lost a little bit of their momentum. So yeah, that was quite hard for them.
So the player of the game, what stood out about the player of the game's performance tonight?
So our player of the game was Devin Fitzgerald. He actually had a career high of, I believe it's 221 yards, and he had 3 touchdowns tonight. I think his chemistry with the quarterback number 15 is really, really good. But yeah, obviously he's sad about the loss, and but yeah, they're looking for a little bit of positives from tonight. And heading into next week, they have Red Mountain. They haven't won from them yet in the past, as Coach Jewell said. So they're like, it's another game, and they have to get their head in the games to totally win that again.
So what is the biggest takeaway from this matchup moving forward?
Well, Coach Jewell said that there are like a couple takeaways, the turning over the ball as often as they did shouldn't be happening, and focusing on the details. There was just a lot of little things that went wrong that they have to clean up going into next week. He said also giving up 70 goals is just too much to give up. They really want to reduce that. And so I think that is definitely one of the biggest takeaways for them.
Well, thank you so much, Jasmine. And now we're going to head over into our commercial break.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hello, Varsity Sports Show family. I'm Tommaso Perez from ASU. Join me as I bring you inspiring sports stories and updates from our Catholic schools, where faith, tradition, and athletics come together. Catch me live on KDOS 1060 AM Saturdays from 9 to 11 and during Varsity Sports Show game broadcast.
It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school football previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live.
Welcome back to Friday Night Live, presented by the Varsity Sports Show. Our post-game show tonight, a lot of exciting high school football across the state of Arizona and into southern Nevada. And we're going to take it out now, head over to Queen Creek, where we're going to bring on our very own field correspondent, Danny McDermott.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Danny. How's it going?
Going good. It was a tough matchup out here. How's it going, Anastasia?
It's going good. So, player of the game. What stood out about our player of the game tonight?
So actually, we had a different player of the game. We had our main focus was on number 18, Caden Kellogg, for Queen Creek. Unfortunately, things happened, and we ended up going with number 4 tight end Bear Fisher. He had let me tell you the whole game. It was a really tight game up until third quarter happened, and boom, Centennial took was already in the lead, but they took to the next step and they scored 2 more touchdowns to finish the game 28-7. But Bear was able to he managed to have 3 10+ yard receptions. He did really good out there, and especially playing both sides of the ball. I think that he definitely should have been one of the first options we had for player of the game, but I think he did a very good job today.
And what ended up being the turning points in the game?
I definitely think that they both played really hard, and it was a really strong game. So a lot of the QBs were throwing away the ball majority of the game. It was once Centennial figured out their Queen Creek's plays, they definitely, that's how they not overturned, but overtook the game and managed to make it out on top 28-7. I definitely do think that it could have been a totally different game if they had a better mindset.
Oh, looks like we have some technical difficulties. Let's get Anastasia back here, Danny.
Sorry about that. It's bad service out here. I know that. I don't know about Anastasia.
Yeah, there we go.
But it was a great game to watch. Really was.
Sorry, that dorm Wi-Fi. Okay.
No, I totally get it, girl.
And what do you believe is the biggest takeaway from the matchup moving forward?
Well, Queen Creek does have Basha next week, so definitely taking off this game. What they could have done better was, I even heard it from Bear, was their mentality and definitely having each other up and being there for each other. It was not the game I saw last week. Last week, they were one as a team. This week did not look so much. So that's the biggest takeaway I have for you today, Anastasia.
Okay. Thank you so much, Danny.
Of course. Thank you.
Thanks, Danny.
You guys have a great night.
You too.
You too.
Wow. Okay, so Queen Creek with suffering the loss tonight. Let's head out. I think we're going to go to Paradise Valley, where they hosted Flagstaff, and our very own Reggie Wright reporting from PV. There he is.
Wow.
Hey, how's it going, Reggie? And yeah, I have the same expression, man. It was just a complete abomination, man. It was, well, talking about this game, what was so overwhelming about Staff Flag that they couldn't control Paradise Valley today?
I mean, at first, it like Flagstaff was completely in it. Let's be real, but it was just the constant onslaught of the Paradise Valley offense that really just like got the game like as far as away from Flagstaff as they could. And one of the standout players for me tonight was Alonzo Gonzalez because he scored not one, not two, but 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. It was absolutely amazing because like quarterback Arush Behera, he was just scanning every time he snapped the ball, and then he just saw Gonzalez wide open, and that's how he was able to like get into those positions where he was in the end zone.
Man, it was absolutely unbelievable how they just went out front and just out competing them. But having said, where do you see this both teams in the future?
Well, for Paradise Valley, obviously they have that game against Cactus Shadow, but if they're able to like have performances like they did tonight, especially having like all of the key pieces of their offense, such as Alonzo Gonzalez, Caleb Simmons, who was also like he went off tonight, scored 3 touchdowns, and he pretty much was crucial for their offense tonight. Just like was able to like make those long, super long rushes and just get them into like prime scoring position throughout the game. And then for Flagstaff, they have Lee Williams next. This has been a very tough 4 games for them. Obviously, this is their fourth. This is their 3rd game in which they have given up more than 40 points. So unless they can work on that defensive output, I feel like they might struggle against Lee Williams on next Friday.
So I mean, what you're saying based on the outlook, both Paradise is offensively and Flagstaff is defensively. It's just
It was just a complete mismatch out there. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
man, I mean, sometimes you have one of those games, man, where you're just completely shocked on the result.
Of course.
But
And
we thank you. Oh, go ahead, Reggie. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, just like I said earlier into the game, it was like anything could happen within these 4 quarters, and we saw exactly just that.
Yeah, we'll see what the future holds for both of these teams. But Reggie, we thank you. Thank you for your reporting and your outlook of the game.
Of course. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, Reggie. Okay, Reggie Wright reporting from Paradise Valley. Big win tonight for Paradise Valley over Flagstaff, 63-21. We're going to head back down to Tucson, where we've got our very own Kira Aronoff reporting from Sunnyside in a game versus Micah Mountain. This was our second opportunity this season to get a look at Micah Mountain, and let's bring her on.
Hi there. I'm not at Sunnyside anymore. Game was over about an hour ago, unfortunately, but I got a lot of notes for you.
Perfect. So, hi, Kira. How's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
It's going great. So, first, want to talk about the player of the game, as I have been. What stood out about the player of the game's performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he was playing offensively and defensively, so he was doing both. He was doing an amazing job. Kept hearing his name being called up on the announcer. I got a chance to talk to him after the game as well. And I don't know, what stood out to me is he was like really inspired by his team, and like the team as a whole. I talked to the coach as well afterwards, and it just seems like they have a lot of like synchronicity. They got it together. There's definitely a bond in that team, and I think that really showed today, especially with their defense. They played an extremely strong defense. tonight.
Okay. Awesome. So as the game went on, what did you notice about like the atmosphere and how the crowd was interacting? How was
Yeah.
that?
Well, it was the National Football Foundation was there, so it was a bowl game, which was cool, Arizona Bowl. There was a lot of fans. Both teams had a lot of fans there. It was also youth night, so we got to see a bit of that. But for the game, I mean, I would say the first half was a little slow. It was definitely Sunnyside was leading there for the most of the first half, and then second half things started picking up by Micah Mountain. Actually, the last 2 minutes I would say was the most exciting. It was 10-14. Sunnyside was still up, and there was like that ball was slippery. There was a lot of fumble after fumble after fumble. At one point, Micah fumbled, recovered. I Sunnyside fumbled, and then Micah recovered that ball. So turnover there, and then they were super close to getting a touchdown at that point. Lost the ball, turnover back to Sunnyside.
Wow.
So they didn't end up making it, and Sunnyside pulled out the win. So I would say that last quarter of the game was an exciting one for sure.
Awesome. And what do you think is the biggest takeaway moving forward from this game?
Ooh, that's a great question, Anastasia. I don't know. Both these teams they're definitely fired up. I mean, I got the chance to talk to both coaches, obviously, but got to talk to Micah Mountain a few weeks back, and obviously this time got to talk to one of the players at Sunnyside. I feel like both teams really want it. Like you can just feel the energy, and talking to the players that they are both so like inspired by their own teams, and just love the game. They love playing the game, so it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kira.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Kira. Great job. We really appreciate and value your analysis. You've been knocking it out of the park, and especially just getting back from going to school abroad for 3 years. Tell everybody really quick where you just got back from.
So I was doing my bachelor's degree in journalism in Prague in the Czech Republic. A lot of people are like, "Where's Prague?" Which very fair point. It's Czech Republic is next to country next to Germany. But yeah, I got the opportunity to do my full program there. So spent 3 years there, and then decided, football, American football as they call it, is not really a thing in Europe. Germany, although I will say Germany, there's some football fans out there, American football fans out there, but not as much. So I was like, I'm going to come back. I'm into the game. I grew up watching it with my dad, and here I am. I'm with you guys now, and I love it. It's the best.
We love having you here. You're doing a great job. So keep up the great work, and we look forward to getting more analysis in coming weeks. So thank you so much. Nice work.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vince.
All right. All right. Well, now we are going to bring on one more guest here to kind of round out the night. He is one of our interns that had worked with us over the summer. His name is Manav Gupta, and he's from the University of Houston. Presented a different take in that he talked to us a little bit about some big games going on in Houston and the recruiting landscape nationally, and how even teams such as our very own two teams in our backyard here in Arizona could be affected with some of the recruiting going on in Houston and the Big 12 landscape. So, Manav, what do you got for us?
Yeah, great to be here, Vince. Obviously, late at night here. It's almost 12:30, but still a great night for high school football here in the Houston area. It was a big night. Woodlands is a big, prominent high school program here in the area. About 45 minutes north, they took on Willis. That was the game of the week, basically. Number 6 team taking on the number 16 team in the area, and Willis was able to pull off a huge upset and get the 42-30 win at home. And their running back had a huge game, Jermaine Bishop, and a lot of these guys who perform really well here in the Houston area get a ton of offers, whether that's across, Texas colleges. But whatever happens here in this area, whenever somebody has a big game, it catches up a lot of people on what's going on here. So big game for Willis. They're now 3-1 on the year over the Woodlands, and Bridgeland is another team that people are keeping an eye out on today. They're west of Houston, but a big program, a lot of big names coming out of there. They dominate today 56-14, and they move to 3-1. And the action just doesn't stop here in Texas with high school. I mean, you got teams going on tomorrow, a couple of big games tomorrow with the number 3 team, Ridgepoint, as well as the number 5 team in Houston, Klein Collins. And the action just keeps on going. High school football is packed here in the Houston area.
Quick question for you, Manav. Now, I know you are big into following the Big 12 conference. Who looks good early in the season here in football?
I mean, I would say Houston has been a big surprise. They've started 3-0, dominated Colorado. That was a widely viewed game across the country. Arizona State looking solid early. I think Houston's had a really good chance to make their statement. We're going to see Houston and the Arizona teams face off later in the season. So that should be a lot of fun. But I think the Big 12 is wide open right now. As we see, Iowa State, again, will be a top team to look at as well.
Awesome. Manav Gupta, thank you so much, Manav. And thanks for staying up a little late for us tonight. I know Central Time, it's after midnight there, but we appreciate it. Our folks and audience here in Arizona always appreciate your expert analysis. And we're going to keep going to the well with you throughout the season to get some insight into the Big 12 Conference and how things are shaking out, not only in football, but other sports as well this fall. So thanks again, Manav.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys, that about wraps it up. You know, quite a night for football across the state of Arizona and in Nevada. I'm really impressed. I really enjoyed getting out tonight. Last night was out at Saguaro. Saguaro defeated Cesar Chavez. I had a chance to check them out. And, of course, tonight was out at Horizon. Big win for Horizon, going to 4-0, as well as other teams across the state having big wins. Anastasia, favorite game tonight?
Favorite game tonight, I'm going to say Sunnyside versus Micah Mountain because Tucson.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And I also really appreciated Kira's insights from that game as well.
Yeah. Okay. Good. How about you, Rodolfo?
You know, I might have to change my mind, Vince, from the pregame show. I said it was Mountain View and Basho. I had to say with Paradise and Flagstaff, because usually, based on Reggie's insight and how well he spoke about Paradise and the domination against Flagstaff, I think it was an interesting game. How it started and all of a sudden it just piling on. So quite interesting.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. I'm going to have to stick with the game that I was at, and that was Horizon defeating Sunny Slope. 2 undefeated teams going in, one still undefeated, the other going home, licking their wounds tonight with a loss, and Horizon with the win. Folks, be sure to tune in tomorrow morning to the Varsity Sports Show from 9 to 11 a.m. on AM 1060. You can also tune in on the live stream link at KDUS. AM1060.com. You can pull the link there regardless of where you're at in this country or on this globe. Tune in live. We are on from 9 to 11 a.m. On behalf of our amazing broadcast team, field correspondents that joined us throughout the state of Arizona and Nevada tonight, as well as our co-hosts, Anastasia Rastelli from Tucson, Arizona, and Rodolfo Gomez from Sacramento, California. My name is Vince Delicio. Thanks again for tuning in to Friday Night Live Postgame Show. We'll see you tomorrow morning on the Varsity Sports Show. Have a good night, everyone.
It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school football previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live.